Learn to run with your dog, 8 tips and tricks. Do you want to start running with your dog? Whether it's a classic running next to your doggie or cani-cross, which puts the animal in mind, this sport practice for 2 is a good way to spend while strengthening your relationship and your bond with your little companion. How to learn to run with your dog. Is this possible with all animals? Should you train your doggie beforehand? How to equip. How to start. How to overcome the first difficulties. Our answers in his file. Running with your dog. Is it possible with all doggies? Yes and no. You should know that some breeds of dogs are more predisposed to the practice of running and certain enduring sports activities than others. Indeed, brachycephalic breeds, that is to say with a skull wider than long and a flattened face, have more breathing difficulties and are not able to run over long distances. Puppies and young dogs are also still in the bone growth phase. It is therefore preferable to wait until the age of 12 to 18 months to allow them to practice running so as not to weaken their joints prematurely. Anyway, before starting the race with your animal, consult the veterinarian for a short checkup so that he can confirm the possibility of this activity, or even advise you on the procedure to follow in order to avoid any risk for your little companion. Moreover, it is essential that the animal takes pleasure in the race and that its master respects the rhythm of its little companion. The practice of racing with your dog is relatively diversified, because we distinguish the classic race, next to the doggie, and the cani-cross, which places the animal in front so that it tows its master. Anyway, running with your dog is an excellent way to practice a sporting activity for 2, to strengthen the bond and trust between the 2 members of the team. What training to put in place? Before embarking on learning to race with your dog, it is imperative to ensure that he has good behavior, that he behaves well with his congeners, and that he knows how to obey certain essential orders such as the directions, right, left, ahead, etc., the stop sign, etc. This preparation can be undertaken by the master alone, within a learning club, or with a canine educator. How to equip. Before starting this new activity with your little companion, it is imperative to equip yourself well. Appropriate equipment will allow you to avoid injuries, discomfort, and various risks. For your pooch to run in complete safety, equip him with a harness at the level of the back and a leash that you will attach to your waist after having equipped yourself with a harness suitable for running hands-free, or that you will simply hold by hand if your animal is relatively obedient. Avoid the collar, which can strangle your dog or hurt his neck. How to start the race with your dog. Our 5 tips here are our tips to start running with your little companion. Tip N°1. Softness and progression. Start with short outings of 15 to 20 minutes per week to avoid any risk of injury to you and your dog. The pace should be moderate. Over the course of the sessions, you will increase the duration and the speed, but avoid going too fast. Your pet needs time to adapt its body to running, just like you. Tip 2. Adapt to your pooch. Either way, always adapt to your dog's abilities, not the other way around. If you force him to follow you, the sports outing can very quickly become an unpleasant moment for both of you, not to mention the risk of injury. Remember that it is strongly discouraged to run a young dog, because its growing frame would be greatly weakened. Wait until he is at least 12 months old if he is a small or medium breed, and wait until he is 18 months old if he is a large breed. Tip 3. Keep it close to you. It is not uncommon for the dog not to know how to follow the rules of tracking from the first race. He may be dissipated by excitement, move away from you, or stop constantly to sniff new smells and mark his territory. So be sure to keep him on a leash while running quietly to get him used to staying close to you throughout the session. Tip number 4. Choose the right land. Prefer to run on soft ground such as a path, a seaside. Dogs have more sensitive paws than it seems, and bitumen can quickly injure their pads. Tip number 5. Know when to stop. Finally, as soon as you notice the first signs of fatigue in your doggie, stop. Panting, dragging paws, lowered ears, hanging tongue, lowered tail. These signs should alert you. How to deal with the main difficulties. Our 3 tips. You are now ready to fully engage in this activity. Nevertheless, you will probably face some difficulties during your first outings. Here are our tips for overcoming them. Tip N°6. Our solutions if your dog jumps on you. Does your pooch jump on you all the time and is bursting with energy and excitement? Here are our tips for calming him down and resuming your sports session more serenely. Calm your dog. Start by walking and accelerate slowly and very gradually. As soon as your little companion starts getting excited and jumping, slow down your pace or resume walking. This will allow him to understand that he must stop jumping and that he must run next to you. Turn your back on him. This trick, practiced by the doggies themselves among themselves, allows them to calm down an overly excited game. Say a no close and turn your back on your animal to put up a barrier that shows your disagreement. Tip N degree 7. Our solutions if your pooch constantly changes direction. Some dogs have an annoying tendency to meander from right to left and pass in front of their master. This situation makes running unpleasant and can be very dangerous in the event of a fall. Hold it tight. Hold your little friend's leash tightly to encourage him to run in front of you or beside you and break the habit of zigzagging. If he runs in front, pay attention to his slowing down and stopping and jostle him gently to make him understand that he is in your way. As soon as he leaves, encourage him with a yes. If he runs on the side, pull on the leash when he changes sides and hold him firmly on the side he needs to keep. Tip N degree 8. Our solutions if your animal is not very motivated. Do not force your little companion to run, because this activity must remain a shared pleasure. If he refuses, leave him alone, but you can try our tricks to stimulate him. Encouragement. Caress, toy, treat. Your dog may agree to follow you to get something. Do not hesitate to attract it by holding the toy or treat in your hand. Trivialize the event. Some dogs like to run, but freely and not as part of supervised practice. Stimulate him with other dogs who agree to run or even start running alone to make him want to follow you and equip him when you see that the desire for a real session arises. Manifest.